Hello everyone. So today I'll be taking you through this journey of safety awareness training module. So here we go. So safety awareness, that is your security at the workplace. Now what is safety awareness? Safety awareness is a constant realization every employee must have at all times. Being constantly aware of how they're operating at work and being able to recognize hazards is critical in mitigating safety related risks. The term safety broadly covers a variety of ways a disaster or accident can occur, from physical hazards to occupational, natural, and social risks. So, in this segment, we'll be learning about how to be safe in an organization, especially pertaining to those which are having construction or procurement or dealing with heavy equipments in a factory are the ones where safety awareness is of utmost importance. Now, it is easier said than done, of course. Daily responsibilities at work can often distract even diligent employees and decrease alertness. Employees who have been doing the same job for years are at an even higher risk because they're less likely to consciously think about their actions. When this happens, safety becomes less of a daily thought until it's brought back to the spotlight. Say, for example, a factory manager who has been dealing with the foremanship equipments for over 5 years is well equipped to handle those products. But if for one day the equipment fails or an accident occurs, it is said that he has been though working well with the equipment, yet accidents may occur. So it is always important to know where the safety issues are, when the maintenance are required, and when it is important to ensure that those equipments or the construction materials are handled at an important pace rather than having causing injuries or any kinds of hazards to the employees. Here, for example, we can state a different kinds of workplace safety and work practices. For example, occupational health and safety policy, safety committee participation, my machine and workplace, to develop the belongingness to the equipment and workplace and sense of safe habits. Machine safety, working on machine and safe machine guards. Forklift safety, electrical safety, incident reporting, personal protective equipment, that is PPE, and hazardous work permit. Not to forget, of course, that is the emergency management, first aid and accidents, fire prevention and control, emergency preparedness and response. Now, there are a few ways to develop safety awareness in a workplace. First is to develop a safety manual, name a safety champion, hold a safety event, build safety into employee communications. The thing is that there should be a mock safety training and safety methodologies prevailing in an organization. Like, for example, in many EPC firms, it is often stated that safety manuals must be read or journals must be repeated simultaneously over few weeks to ensure that the employees are aware and up to date regarding their safety measures. Like, for example, if in the case of an emergency, if a fire breaks out, it must be noted that the employees are well equipped to deal with the situation. So in this case, holding and organizing such mock presentations and demonstrations ensures that the employee are kept safe and up to the knowledge of their ability to handle this kind of situations. Now, the benefits of the safety awareness can be by and large efficient to the organization. First is aware about the surroundings. There are many employees who doesn't bother about their surrounding hazards. But it is important to observe your co-employees' working circumstances. Once you get to know about the particular hazards that occur at your workplace, then it will help you in reducing the risk and allow you to take the precautionary steps. Second is reduce workplace stress. Most of the employees are not fit and healthy because of their busy schedule, which includes like long hours of work, work pressure and conflicts occurrence within workers or with the boss of the organization. All this can lead to some illness or depression to the employees. Also, this not only affects their professional life but also creates the nuisance of their personal lives too. So instead of waiting to get unfit, it is better that you start taking care of your health by taking regular breaks, sit in an appropriate posture with appropriate diet. So it can be seen that many of the employees are generally not aware or ignore their surroundings as what is happening around them or what are the changes or the conflicts that are actually arising in the workplace. So this is actually something, if they are not aware of, can reduce their safety in the workplace. For example, if some incidents of unsafetyness like a man who has got stuck in the lift or some heavy object breaking down on his head or shoulders might be ignored by an employee, but if he is aware about the occurrences, he is sure to be aware of it if the time comes for him, because we never know, it might happen to him as well, because accidents do not come with time and tide. Also, because of workplace stress, many people sometimes get ignored in their jobs. So because of that, he might not be paying equally attention to the jobs as he is doing or was doing actually in some earlier time. So with that, because of the stress and uneasy feeling, he might sometimes get distracted from his work. So because of that, it might be affecting his health and somehow his safety can be reduced to some extent. To continue, use tools appropriately. Take appropriate precautions while using machinery or any other tool instead of taking any shortcuts. Taking shortcuts is one of the biggest reasons behind workplace loss. It is a biggest safety risk to use scaffolding as a ladder or one tool instead of another for a particular job. So it is always recommended to use the correct tools and reduce the opportunity of workplace injury. For this, keep a crisis exits which are easily accessible. In case there is an emergency, you will need quick access to the exits. It is also advised to keep clear usage of equipment shutoffs which might stop you from performing at emergency. So like as we say that we always need to know the right tools appropriately to be used in the workplace. Like in case of grilling machines, if we use some kind of salting machines, then this kind of things will appropriately be injurious for the workman who might not know the actual usage of the tools. So in that case, he needs to be trained well and he needs to have the proper manual to use those equipments and things. Also, in case of emergency, the person and the employee should be well workaholic to know about the exits and the fire emergency, especially like in case of a fire, they should not use the elevator which is commonly stated, and they should know exactly where the nearest exit routes are. For this, they need to know the organization and this layout well good enough to be able to use it at the right time. Number 5 is that update your supervisor about the unsafe conditions. It is important that you keep updating your supervisor about the hazards or risks which occur at workplace. They should be legally obligated to ensure that their work employees are having a safe environment or not. And in case if the employees are not working in safe conditions, then it is the responsibility of the supervisor to listen and understand their conditions and create safe working environment for employees. Number 6 is use mechanical assistance. Whenever you want to carry or lift up some heavy equipments, then you should use a conveyor belt, crank, or forklift. There are lots of risks involved. If you try to lift something which is heavier, it can affect your weighing capability and can lead to some muscle displacement. So make sure that you use the appropriate tools for not harming yourself. So first is that the working employees must always update their supervisor about the present unsafe conditions if any arises. That is, if they find that any equipment is not working well, or there might be some, say in case of an electric spark which is having when you operate a machine, that must be immediately informed to the supervisor before there arises any kind of untoward incident like having a shock to the employee or a electrical nuisance. So in that case, it must be noted and kept to the vision of the supervisor. Next is whenever we are lifting something heavier, that is, heavy things often lead to muscle disorders. So to avoid that, there should be use of forklift or conveyor belt by the workers. In that case, they should have less amount of stress given to their body, and so in that case they can have their safety to a greater level. Last but not the least, that is number 7, is to stay alert. There are many employees who usually compromise or ignore the alerts of advance warning, and due to this a number of workplace injuries or fatalities occur. For example, maybe the supervisor had warned the workers not to use a particular machine since it has been mishandled or is causing some problems in the recent times. But if any worker by accident or by his own will fails to use that machine, it is simply his utmost negligence and ignorance, then we must say that he is not alert enough or is not responsible enough to maintain the advices of their supervisors. So in this case, it is necessary to have the following alertness or whatever message is dedicated to the benefit and safety of the workers. So if these few bits and pieces of awareness are maintained, then the work environment can have a better productivity of the employees and can ensure a greater level of safety towards them. So with this, we would like to conclude our presentation. Thank you and have a good day. Thank you for your warm and patient listening.